I haven't done a long play video for a while. So as a friend is gently nudging me with a crowbar to do one, here it is. This is a Maygay M1B that's seen better days. I'm already made a start on it. I've cleared off all the battery damage and tinned up all these tracks. Tinned up a lot of tracks. Strangely enough, didn't have to do much to the back of it. Actually started this well over 6 months ago, but life got in the way. The battery had basically trashed all of this, and then you can still see remnants of it. I think there might be an original photograph of this somewhere, but there'd been moisture and stuff got into it as well, and damaged a lot. So basically had to strip everything down. Still has a wee bit of moisture damage there. Clean it all off. Use a dremel and a fine polishing wheel to get rid of the really hardcore corrosion. That's what you can still see some of the buff in there, but doesn't matter. At the minute it doesn't work, so if it works, you're not going to care about a wee bit of cosmetic damage. You don't see the cosmetic damage when it's in the machine. It's going to have some link wires. There's no way about it. You can see there some traces gone there. The worst of the damage trace wise is actually up here. Quite a few traces are gone there. It basically needs everything. So what I've done to make a start is I've photographed these areas in sections, photographed them at high res so I've got close-up pictures. My plan right now is, well, let's put it this way, ladies and gents, you're not going to see a working board today. Very much doubt it. My plan is, for this initial point, is to get some sort of a system clock going. Get the board a heartbeat. If I can get a system clock on, get some of the timing working, then at least I know that some of this section is in one piece. I'm not going to get reset working today. Well, I could, but I'd have to rig up some sort of switch because I don't have a 556. It's coming. Parts are hard to get at the minute. I tell you, no word of a lie, the parts for this, I've already got them. And the current owner of the board paid for them. Parts for this cost £60. A really solder that I had to get myself because I've run out. That's what I've got left. Also cost £60. So already this board's got £120 put into it. Not cheap, eh? About 10-15 years ago we were doing these for 20-30 quid, but this one's technically already paid for, so, but just bear that in mind, gents, if you're doing boards for people. I know we all like to give mates rates, but parts for these are getting bloody expensive. Some parts are getting unobtainable. I'll give you an example. I had to buy 20 blank PAL CE chips just to get one. I think for 20, I got them for some amount, but to get one in the UK it was almost as much as getting 20 for Europe. Just goes to show you. So, initial phase of this repair is going to be get the clock circuit on. If I can get that working, then I will add the core system, which is basically RAM, which I've got a brand new RAM for it. U38 there, which is an 00. The 74 up here at U31. The 04 at U6, 259 at U11, and the 08 at U30. And the 154 over here. 154 cost almost £5-6 now. It's ridiculous, the price of stuff. I mean, I know the world's in a bit of a mess now, but if you move to America or move to the Middle East or Russia, you could probably repair one of these things for the equivalent of 10 quid. You'd be falling over the parts. Here, UK, they want to take a DNA sample from getting a bloody capacitor these days. Anyways, enough ranting. Let's make a start. Let's get the clock system up. Right. The parts for the clock circuit are in. Capacitors, new crystals, U6. And that's what I should really need to get a clock. Well, for that part of the board anyway. But that's only half the battle. What I need to do now is I need to check each and every pin. And I'll need to do this for every IC I put on. I need to check each and every pin goes where it's supposed to. Well, as you can see, that didn't go according to plan. I've not got a lot done really. I've actually had to take more stuff off. Bit of horror story under there, but we'll fix that. I can get chips for that. I've got a spare line about. Right. Couldn't get the clock working. Brand new parts on, brand new capacitors, crystal, didn't work. Tried changing the capacitors, no good ones, didn't work. Crystal, no good one, didn't work. Checked all the traces, checked that resistor was the right value, checked that resistor wasn't open, didn't work. Moved that HC04 from there up to there. There's my brand new one out of the U6 position, and we now have a clock. Nice and strong. So I still about 5 or 6 hours. And the conclusion I've came to is there's nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with that at all. Chip tester says it's perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with the capacitors, nothing wrong with the crystal, nothing wrong with any stuff we put on. Came to the conclusion that the modern hardware is too good. Now, I'll try and explain. Back in the day, Maygay designed this board with the limitations of the hardware in mind. I remember way back in the early 90s, what they would do is you build oscillators are analog circuits, but you build them out of digital parts. But I'm trying not to confuse you here. You're relying on the analog traits of the digital parts to make the circuit work. So what Maygay would do is they would buy the batch of parts. All the manufacturers would have to do this. They'd buy the batch of parts, they'd get the manufacturer's data sheet for the part, the HC04, whatever. They did go look at the oscillator they wanted to use. I think they use a Pierce or a Colpitts. I'm not too sure. I'll get the name eventually. I've actually got the application on. I've actually got it printed out somewhere. But they would look at the application note for the oscillator design they wanted to use, and then they would look at the data sheet for the chip they wanted to use. They would be looking at voltage tolerances and propagation delays and stuff, and they pick component values for the capacitors and resistors, etc., to match the limitations of this part, and it will work perfectly. Move forward 30, 40 years, we don't have, the home hobbyists won't have to hand the advanced data sheet for that part. They won't have to hand the design notes for that circuit. So you buy your brand new part from Farnell's or whatever. And this is for Farnell's. This is a reputable builder. What's focusing? It'll come back. Reputable supplier. You buy your brand new part, bung it in, and it doesn't work. Luckily though, the chip that was in U39 comes for the same batch that was probably in U6. So just swap it over and it works. It's what we have to face now. You'll be tearing your hair out because something, you'll think you've got a bad chip, and I did. I tried various different ones in there. You'll think you've got a bad crystal, you think a bad trace. No, it's just your modern part is manufactured different. The tolerances are better, the limitations of it are less, and its little internal quirks are just not suitable for the circuit. You could get it to work, but you'd have to adjust all the values of these. I think you would have to drastically change the capacitor values to get it to work. But anyways, enough of that. What I'll probably do at some point in the future is I will build, well, I could actually do it on my laptop tonight. I'll build the oscillator. And I've got a Proteus package, so I'll build the oscillator on that package, and I'll see if I can get it to work with different values. I mean, that may not work, but what you could do is build a little bit of strip board with the oscillator on it and a socket for the chip, and maybe variable capacitors or whatever. Just tweak the values until it works. Don't know. Something to think about. But anyway, I'm digressing here. So we've got the clock working. 1 million years later. So next job's, I've got more battery damage to repair. We'll clean that up. Find spares for those. We'll change all these capacitors. I've got them in my hand. That's what I'll be doing next. And we'll start to gradually assemble more of it. Oh yeah, I found, God, I need to sweep that floor. I found a scrap board with a good gal on it, so that'll be going in there. It's one less one I don't have to burn. Right, onwards and upwards. Right, again, that took a lot longer than I thought, but got all the crap cleared out of it. That blushness was just all surface. See, I got a little bit of repair work to do up there, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah. Can start putting some bits back on it now. We'll start with sockets for these, and then we'll start assembling this, and we'll have to put all the discrete components back on first, or it's not going to do much. Alright, so I was looking in my stash of stuff and I found this. Very, very heavily battery damaged, but it's got a PAL on there, and it's got a 556 on there. So I think those will be transplanted onto there. Yeah, it's very heavily battery damaged. I mean, it's savable. I'll put it on the maybe pile. But for the minute, it's going to help another board live. Just test the old 556 here. I got a wee bit crusty. Let's see. Can I do it?
Good enough for now.
I think I can, to be honest.
Alright, I guess about the only things left
There we go.
are to get the turbo on it, the exhaust pipe from the turbo back to this exhaust elbow,
Yep, so it's a 556.
And now I can start finding the
Right. We got the timer on. And we got some discrete parts on, a couple of resistors and diodes. Now we have RAM power and we have a reset.
Jacket. This time I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later, pal. That's just me boy gonna. Yeah, slowly but surely. She coming back to life. Excuse the noise. We're in the middle of making dinner, but sockets are on. I've checked address and data bus between here and here, here and here. Check. I've not got a socket for the RAM, but the RAM's brand new, so it won't matter. I found one bad trace going out to the RAM, D0, so I'll tie a line to it when I fit the RAM. Got some in these holes. I know, not much point having connectors on there yet. It's not ready to be powered up, no, nearly ready, but they're not new. But they'll work. Cleaned up a bit of contact clearing, they'll be fine. Need to find something to put there and then start assembling the rest of it. No, they'll start. Alright. I found some of the parts I needed in the wicker box. Go see, dropping things there. That's not that. Let's try in there. This gets bigger every year. Every year they get me a box of Heroes of Celebrations, and every year I keep the box for parts. And every year the box gets full. Right. Big pile of parts. Found everything I need. So, let's get that onto there.
So obviously this is the oil pump. Doesn't look too bad.
I think the next thing we'll put in is the RAM. This is new 8K RAM, equivalent to 6264. It's not new old stock, it's brand new. You can, in 2024 you can still buy through whole RAM. Yeah, so that'll go in there. Just in case it confuses anybody. It's It's the equivalent of 6264. Now, when you're buying replacement RAM for these boards, you don't go by the part number 6264, you go by the size you need and you search for that. And if you think about it, 64 is 8 by 8. So a 6264 is just an 8K RAM. You divide the number by 8, so 62256 divided by 8, well, that's going to be 32K, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, I think so. But, yep, wasn't that expensive either. I think they were, well, not exactly cheap. It was about £6 each. But even so, in 2024, that's a good purchase. There we go, that's it. That line going underneath, fixing that broken track. Probably first of many. It's starting to resemble something functional now. Let's keep going. None of the legs on these things are straight. Why is it every time they come out of the factory, the legs are spread eagled? Why not just make them straight? Still keeps the chip straighteners on a job, doesn't it? That's the top line installed. Now put these in, and then it gets interesting because we have obvious trace breaks here. It looks like, yeah, it looks like pins 2 and pin 15, the traces are broken. So I'll have to keep that in mind when I install those. Right, now a friendly neighbourhood address decoder. That is a new old stock. And that goes here. And there we go. I just got these roughly sitting here for now, but that is the core built. So, we're not out of the woods yet. We're going to have to find these trace breaks. I know there's a trace break over here, and we don't know if there's any trace breaks up here, so we need to buzz out everything for each and every one of these chips that are put in. Come on, focus your bugger. For each and every chip I put in, I need to buzz out all the traces to wherever they go and join any breaks, because there is obvious breaks, and I know for a fact there's one over here as well. I can just see it come down. I think it's for pin 10 or 11. But we will get it. It's actually, yeah, not too sure about using this. I have to straighten up the legs a lot before I put them in this socket here. This one, I think this was alright. It's in my starch and marked okay, but I'll test it on a chip tester. See what the chip tester has to say about it. I think with any luck, we will be running the test drum on it tomorrow. Certainly won't be tonight. It's the next morning, really. Yeah. I'm speaking to the owner of the board here. Don't say I'm no good to you. I do spend a fair bit of time working on these when I can get the time. Quite surprised actually, that really sold that I'm getting my money's worth out of that. I thought that was almost done, and I've done near enough the whole board with this. So far so good. Time for a kip, and we'll continue on with it. Chip tester says it's a 6809.
Center, and then they're kind of a press fit into the actual engine block, and that's
Well,
what holds the gear on. This is the step.
all this test can do actually is just it goes through all the address ranges. It makes sure that it can read and write from each range. It's a very crude test, but
What's happening now is the gears actually
hopefully if it can do that, the rest of it works.
phone wheel on the
Right. It's together. A few traces have to be repaired underneath. But I'm quietly confident that it's ready for the test run. First power up's interesting. That's what we get. Now I just noticed Q2 is missing there, so let's throw that in quick. Yeah, the fun's already started. Had to take U31 back off. Pin 5 is the output to the enable for U11, and it was stuck high all the time. I think it's been shortened to another pin or shortened to another trace. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I took it back off and the short disappeared. It's now floating. So I'm going to clean this up a bit better and then put a different chip on. This is where we're at now. Had to repair a couple more traces here. They were reading good one minute, not the next. Put Q2 in there and we're getting that. I've noticed something strange. If I go 1, 2, 3, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ram enable stuck low. Never going to work like that. So, where's ram enable? There.
Oh, I slipped.
That's low. So what are 9 and 10 doing? So, U38 there is.
So the way these meters work is they send just a little trickle of voltage through one probe and the other probe sees it, and that's how it tests stuff. So it's charging this capacitor up, right?
Well, there's pin 8. Is open.
See if this thing's shorted. It looks like
So,
hold on. It's obviously not shorted, or it would just be telling me 0 from here to here, right? So I'm going to assume that one's fine.
No, it can't be open.
One like that, is you would have to
That makes no sense. Hold on, I got the right one.
because this cap is going to completely screw you up. But notice that this is the ground. Once you get past that, you're dealing with the voltage. It's just the voltage coming in. Now down here where you're messing with the ground again, you might get a
Have a running pin for U38. It's low.
it's just because this is
Why is it low?
across this capacitor. Right? So moving right along,
So there's 9.
kind of run into is R50.
So my finger's on the way.
22K
There's 9.
resistor, it says. And if you look here,
8, 9,
R51
10.
is obviously burnt slap up.
10.
Now, it may not be out of
It's
spec.
tricky to do this from this position.
We can theorize that it's out of spec because our
10.
step ain't working. So since this isn't working, that's probably a problem.
Low.
But a lot of times you'll see that and it looks a little charred like that, but it's actually still within tolerance and it's working.
How could it be?
I need to replace that. That may be a whole problem. So R51, like I said, should be 22K. And it is.
Oops.
Let's just
See a deliberate mistake. I picked up the wrong chip. I put an 08 in there. Whoops. Right, let's fix that. What a mistake to make a. Got an 01 there now.
So I think we'll remove the board, put it on the bench, and then we'll look at some
Right.
of the features and things like that, and maybe we can figure out what they had in it at some point and what goes.
I'm in fine form today.
The gentleman sent a box of
I just noticed I had that PAL chip in backwards.
See if there just happens to be another inlet.
Ooh, good.
There were some before, so I'm not sure.
So,
Okay, so here is the board.
no great disaster. I've got the files anyway, but we've got a spare here.
I don't see
Let's try that one.
any damage at all, which is great because it means we don't have to clean anything up.
So,
Remove the battery before
how do you screw things up live on camera? Try this one.
yeah, there's nothing.
Is that in?
It's a really good board to
Right.
rebuild. I have rarely
There we back up.
like I said, if you had 100 of them, 95 of them would have some damage. Some have
Yeah.
lots.
No nice.
Okay,
Right,
so
but
the first thing we need to do, because we don't know where this thing came from,
these aren't.
is see if it will work all right in this
See, that one's the opposite. That one's stuck low
games. They call this the dash
on the wrong side.
games.
Oh no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's an M1B.
Dash 35, right? There was an earlier one that I believe was
It's been a while since I've done M1s. That's a green spot.
games, like
I wonder if that is.
what's the blackjack,
I wonder if that's not compatible with M1B.
Valley solid state.
I wonder if that's only for original M1 boards.
Dash 7
Remember, there's different flavours of these PAL chips.
too, but you have to do some modifications to the board and doing some addressing things and things like that.
Let's try this one.
But it's a lot easier if you get a 35.
Yeah, and we'll do it live.
Some of the mods. And the mods involve cutting traces and things like that. It's not that big of a deal. But
So, one out of an M1A, but if I mind right, the M1As and Bs are compatible. Hold on. Make sure it's right around. Boom. Bada boom. Thank God for that. So, we're on a new thing every day. The Maygay Testron won't work with an original M1 PAL chip. You'll have to do the 8K conversion and use an M1A spec PAL. I didn't know that. I do now. Every day's a school day. There she lives. There's a long way to go yet. So I'll call this part 1. I need to take a break from it. I've been on this for a couple of days. Soldering. Buzzing out everything. But she is alive. Part 2, what we'll hope to do is we'll rebuild this section, we'll rebuild this section here. We'll program up, chip for up there, or get an original one to do it, and we'll find something for in here and here. And maybe that'll be a part 2 and there'll be a part 3 where we'll actually get a gameplay video, but you never knew. But I don't feel very magic at the minute, but that's why people call me magic. We try and fix anything here. We'll try and break things a lot of the time as well. Yeah. She's giving me an offensive sign there. I suppose that's better than getting whacked across the back of the head, eh? Yeah, I'm a bit of a cheeky kid. Cheeky, and it's middle of dinner time, and I've been sitting doing this all bloody day. Pretty sure there's other things I could have done with my time. I'm pretty sure I'll be told there's other things that could be done with my time, but hey ho, we had to get it done. And my dinner's just been brought to the table, so I am out of here.